Alright, third time's the charm. What's up, everyone? I'm here making a video to show you how to do like professional streaming setup without like breaking your back doing tons of stuff here. So first, we've got a 1920 by 1080 pixel picture here in Gimp. We have a transparent layer, and if you don't know how to make those, you come down here, you hit create new layer, boom. And then you can do file new to create a new image with the parameters you want. And then I have guides up. I went to image, guides, new guide by percent, and I put ones at 50 vertical and horizontal, 0 vertical and horizontal, and 100 vertical and horizontal. And that just makes it so you have like a place for your boxes to snap to when you're doing stuff with boxes. All right, so we're gonna come over here to the gradient tool, and we're gonna start making some gradients. We need to make sure we have everything selected first. There we go. I want to make some weird gradient vertical lines, and I want yellow and I want red. So if I'm correct, I should be able to do this. And then change this to transparent. And now I've got that. That's pretty cool. And that's what I want to keep doing. Press enter, make another. Press enter, make one more. We'll make it right there. That seems good. Boom. We'll make another layer here. Transparent too. We'll change our color to kind of a red. And then we're going to do this gradient thing here again. But we're going to delete these. Delete segment. Delete segment. And now we've got basically the same thing as before, but we're going to adjust our color a bit and set it to foreground color on this side, background color transparent here. Hang on. Boom. Okay. So now we're doing it with red. Right? And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to drag a little bit. Well, first, it's a little bright for my liking. There we go. We're going to drag a little bit down here. We're going to drag a little bit down here. We're going to drag a little bit down here. I want this one bigger, denser. We're going to click up here, set it to foreground color transparent. And then we can drag this out to make it a little denser if you want. And we're going to do one kind of right here like this. We're going to do two of these. And we're going to do one kind of right here like this. Boom. Okay. I don't like the angle of that. Let's adjust it a bit more. Maybe right there. A little bit of a perfectionist sometimes. That seems good. That seems good. Cool. And then for this, I wanted a black background. So we'll just name this black. And we'll paint spill some black into it. Perfect. I think that looks pretty all right. For what we're going to do, I think that's going to be cool. All right. Next, we're going to save this as a PNG like this to our desktop. You come to File, you come to Export As, and you name it something.png. I'm not going to show this because I don't want to show like file systems on my computer. I try to avoid that. Now that those are saved, I'm in a different file here because I messed up the previous recording of this part. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a mask. We're going to make a selection here. It can be white, and we want rounded edges on a square selection, radius of 60. We fill these. Whoops. We're on an invisible background. Hang on. We fill these. Boom. This is our mask. We'll save this, export it as mask.png. It doesn't matter, but this is important. Next, we want to create a similar one. This one can have 30 rounded edges. It can even have feathered edges by 2 if you like a softer feeling. Kind of up to you. And what we're going to do is we're going to select black for this. And this is something I've already done, so, you know, it's not going to be quite the same. as the original tutorial here, but I'll try and get it pretty close. So what I want to do is first I want to match the size of the window, 1920 by 1080. Then I want to say, yeah, I'm using a fixed aspect ratio when I shrink it, and I want to shrink it. We still want it to be like a pretty good size. I know it's kind of hard to see here. We still want it to be a pretty good size inside this window. I had it where it was about like 84 off the bottom, 85 off the top, and then I lined this line up here. And you can do that using this measuring tool to measure like this to the edge, and it'll tell you 85 pixels. Right, we know that. This one is 55. It's a much bigger image here, and it's not perfect, but I don't want to redo this part of my tutorial, so I made one already, but this is basically what I did. You fill it with a background color, or a foreground color rather, black, and then you select all. You come up here, you hit filters, you hit light and shadow, and you hit drop shadow. Now you can adjust these however you see fit, but one that I personally use is basically the exact same as the default, but the opacity is at 0.8. It makes the shadow a little darker. I think it looks nice. Boom. This is our background, basically. Next up, we want to create a new layer. For this one, we want to use the same rounded edges, but we can uncheck fixed aspect ratio. And this will be like our chat window. And I'm going to show you a real easy way to kind of make a cool layered chat window. So we're going to fill it on a new transparent layer. We're going to fill it with one color and then select maybe a darker color to be like a header. And we will we'll fill that like here. And then we'll drag this down. We'll remove rounded edges and we'll hit edit clear. Or actually, we should probably fill it with the old color there. There we go. Select all again. Now we've got this interesting little chat window. We can move it around, and you can fit your chat box in here in OBS or whatever. It's a little messy because I didn't get my lines perfect here. Let's do that. And then for text, you can just go like this with your in-text editor. I like Fredoka 1. It's a free Google font. You can use it for basically anything. And I say chat. Hang on. This thing likes to fight with you sometimes. We'll set it to, I don't know, 50. Yeah, 50 is good. There we go. Line it up maybe a bit more. We'll color it white. And then what you want to do is you want to use your selection tool here. We can line this up perfectly in the center, by the way, if we do this. You want to use your color selection tool, select your text, select grow by 4. You want feathered edges, a radius of 2. And then you want to fill a new transparent layer or your chat layer back here, but I say a new transparent layer with this. And now you've got like a pretty nice outline, right? So now what you want to do is you want to put these wherever you would put them. Let's say right there. We'll just move these windows a little bit. You can give this one a drop shadow if you also prefer that. I would. I think it looks nice. Boom. Now this is going to kind of be behind this window usually, like that. So you would actually want this text over here. I messed up when I did that, and you'll notice that in the end of this video, it's kind of like covered by the thing, but it's not a big deal. I had to kind of record this video out of order. And then here's the final thing. This is just a couple more gradient lines set to 40 opacity and then set as a soft light overlay. And it kind of gives this texture to the full thing. If you put it behind the text, it won't affect the text. You can see a little bit of a difference, not much, but you can see it kind of affects the text. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to export this exactly like this. You want all this negative space here. Trust me, it makes it easier. You want to export this as your chat window. And then you want to export this as layer background or something. And then you've got your mask, your background, and your chat window. And we have basically everything we need going forward. Welcome back here. We're in DaVinci Resolve now, and we have our gold and red images, and we have a timeline we've created. Now I'm going to show you how to make a cool animated background. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to increase the length of our image to be on screen for, let's say, 3 minutes. 3 minutes seems like a pretty good length of time. If you use this magnet tool, it'll snap to wherever your cursor is. It's very convenient. We're going to measure it, again using the magnet tool, against this one for 3 minutes. Got a little over there. There we go. Now, nice try. Now, what I used was I used light rays on both. And then I used something called fast noise on both. Now, both of these are pretty cool effects. I'll show you them in action here in just a moment. Over here on the effects menu, we've got fast noise, and I set it to heat haze. And then I put it above light rays. And then for light rays, I come down here. Under appearance, I change the composite type to subtract. And we get this cool effect. Kind of a ripple. Over here on this one, we have our light rays and we have our fast noise. And for fast noise, I set it to mist. Mist was the issue. Mist was the effect we want. So we've got mist on now, and that's what it looks like. So we've got that, and we've got mist. So here's what we want to do. We want to save each of these. We'll save this one, deliver, save as, we'll call it gold beams. We'll add it to our render queue, get rid of these old ones. They're just my previous attempts here, and we're going to render it. It'll take like 30 seconds. I'm going to render the other one too, and then I'll get back to you. All right, we're back with a fresh, clean timeline here, and we're going to drop in gold beams and red beams. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer them. We don't need these audio clips. If we right-click, we can unlink the audio clips and get rid of that. And then what we want to do is we want to say, oh, I don't know, 1.5 minutes in. Right there. We're going to cut it. Boom. We're going to do the same for the other one. Gold beams. All right, both are cut there. Now, we're going to, actually, we don't need to cut gold beams. We're going to do this. And we're going to set the opacity of the clip to 0 right here. And then here, we're going to set it to max. And then here, we're going to set it to 0 again. So, what happens is that the clip starts from the middle here. Did I swap these already? I hope I swapped them already. There we go. Now they're swapped. This is where they link. When this clip is in full view, that's where the like the overlap point of these clips is. And so now you have a clean loop because that fades out like that, slowly over time. Now we can probably do something about this composite mode here, like I don't know, let's see. There's got to be a cool option. There's all sorts of different composite modes. Probably not hard light. That's a bit too harsh. I don't want it to be too harsh. We just want it to be kind of cool. Soft light is usually what I would go with, but I don't think that's what we want here. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it on normal or add. Probably normal. Add might be too bright. Cool. And then if we want to add even extra noise, we could do this. This might be cool. So we come here, we add more noise, and this time we set it to, I don't know, water surface maybe. And it clears up some of those jagged edges as we fade in. I don't know, you have different options. There's all sorts of different stuff you can do if you layer these. Especially if you do light beams again here. Where is it? Light rays. And you set it to something like edges. And light rays alone. That does like this cool edge effect. Pretty cool. That does it, but it's like more distinct. I don't know. You have all sorts of options here. I think that might be the coolest, source regions and either source regions or light rays alone. But I think source regions is probably the coolest here. And then while we're at it, I don't know if we want to adjust this one because that'll cause us some more looping issues. So we won't do that. But we've got it doing that. We'll render it, and then what we'll do is we'll export it. You can see it looks like pipes getting hot and kind of steaming, in my opinion. I don't know. It's a cool heated pipe effect, I think. We'll export this and we'll put it into OBS. And finally, here we are in OBS. We have a new scene. We're going to drop in the stuff we want. What was it? Hot pipes. So this is our loop here, and we can set it to loop under the properties. And let's test it. Let's see what it looks like when it loops. Let's make sure it's clean. Oh, that's good. That's real solid. And then it slowly fades in. So now all you have to do is you add your chat box. That's going to be basically right where you want it. You add the mask back. That's usually under the chat box, like that. Okay, cool. Now maybe you put your face cam here, I don't know. And then for your layer mask, what you do is you will add probably a game capture where you're going to capture a window, right? But for this example, we'll just use another one of these images here. We'll use gold beams. And for gold beams here, we're going to go to properties. Oh, I'm sorry. Filters. And we're going to add an effect. We're going to add an image mask. Doesn't matter what you name it. And then your image mask is going to be layer mask. Oh, will it not let me do that? All right, hang on here. All right, we've got our layer mask here. And what this does is you'll see it rounds the edges out of this specific thing. So now what you'll do is you'll just shrink it till it's about the size of your black background. You'll line it up. We should have put our chat on the edge here. That's a mistake on my part. But because otherwise the game's going to cover it. But, you know, it's all hypothetical here. The main draw of this tutorial is that you get an animated changing background, right? So then you just you add your chat box like you would, you know, a browser extension. Maybe you add your microphone, you add your camera, you know, however you do it. And then back here you've got this. You've got this nice animated background that transitions in a cool way. And you've got this. I'll show you another one that I made. I'll tack it on at the end of the video so you can get another idea. I'll just do the images I used and then I will play the clip. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this kind of helped you out with having a cool animated background that you don't have to buy from Streamlabs or something. You don't need that type of stuff to make this stuff. All you need is a little bit of patience and a little bit of willingness to do trial and error stuff. And you'll come out with something honestly, I think this is pretty cool. No one's really paying attention to this background, right? It's meant to just be this this slow, slightly moving thing. Because if there's too much going on, then it's going to mess up the bandwidth of your video anyway. So you kind of just want a little bit of something. Just so somebody's hey, that guy's got a professional animated background. That's all I've been doing.